my marvelous Malices. Today we have an updated Lair of Darkness deck profile for you. It's been a hot minute since we updated this deck, and with the new addition of Alice, Lady of Lament, we're very excited to bring a new updated version for you. So before we get into the deck profile, just so you know, this is not a meta deck by any means. This is definitely a take to your locals kind of deck and have a good time, and well, nothing more than that. So we hope you guys enjoy it, but with all that being said, make sure you guys are subscribed, notification bells turned on, comment on the video, let us know what you think of this deck and decks you'd like us to update for the format, because God, it's terrible. We want to do more things that are more fun. And with all that being said, let's hop into the lair! Ah, missed me.
Starting off, we are on 1 copy of Darkest Diablos. We have officially cut this down from 2 to 1. The majority of the time that I've been playing this deck, I legitimately don't feel like this is a win condition. It's just a really, really good card. You don't always need access to it, but you do have access whenever you need it. This is a 3k boss monster, can't be targeted, can't be tributed. Special summons itself whenever a dark monster on your side of the field is tributed, whether it's in your hand or in the graveyard, and then it also has the ability where it can tribute a dark monster for a cost, and then basically hand rip your opponent. So, really powerful card, but not necessarily the win con of this deck, so we opted to only play 1.
Shout out to the core being Europrint.
Moving right along, we are playing triple copies of Arima, the Wicked Warden. Arima is basically your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th copy of Terraforming, because as the effect in your hammer, you can discard it, add Lair of Darkness from your deck to your hand. This deck cannot play without the field spell, so having as many copies as possible in your deck is absolutely critical.
He also has a secondary effect where you can tribute a dark monster and draw 1 card, or if you tributed a dark monster that wasn't Arima, you can literally just search Diablos. That's what it says. The long-winded way to say search Diablos. Hot.
And moving right along for the best card in the deck, it is on the playmat, and it is at 3, and it is now officially, I think, a $15 card.
Shout out to Lily, she putting in work.
This is the best card in the deck. Quick effect, you contribute 1 dark monster, reveal 3 normal trap cards in your deck. Your opponent randomly selects one, and you set it directly from your deck to your side of the field. It cannot be ashed. This card tributes for cost. Absolutely incredible. The only downside to Lilith is if you normal summon it, its attack becomes halved, which is 1,000, but we have tons of cards in the deck that actually play around that. This is your main focal point of the deck. This is your interruption with Lair of Darkness face up on the field. This allows you to tribute your opponent's monsters, clearing cards to get more advantage.
And she's absolutely gorgeous as a Europrint. By golly, she's one of the prettiest arts in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm so glad she's getting some time to shine. Also, if anyone asks where the bat is from, it's eBay. eBay. You're welcome.
Moving right along into the brand new edition of the deck, we are playing double copies of Alice, Lady of Lament.
Shout out to Alice.
This card is low-key really crazy. Alice says that if this card is normal summoned, you can target a Lady of Lament monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And then it has the additional effect where you can banish 1 trap card from your hand or graveyard and special summon this card from your hand. If this card is tributed by a card effect, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 fiend monster whose combined attack and defense equals 2,000 from your deck to your hand. This is an extender. This allows you to fuel your banish pile for trap cards so that we can work with our next card, which I guess we'll just showcase right now. It's 1 copy of Malice, Lady of Lament.
Also, quick spoiler, you can get Lilith and Malice off of this in case you couldn't like read. 2,000, 0, that's 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, that's 2,000. Wow. Math.
There's also some spice here that you can search, but we'll get to that in just a second. But Malice says, quick effect, you contribute 2 monsters, then target one of your normal traps that is either banished or in your graveyard, set that target directly to your field, and then once it leaves the field, it shuffles into the deck instead of going to the graveyard instead. This allows you to officially loop all of your trap cards. Alice allows you to make Malice even more live. Lilith allows you to get all of your trap cards alive from your deck. It's just a really concise engine, and we cannot wait to get the brand new card.
Loris or Lolith?
Yeah, I don't think the translation's officially been announced.
But she's perfect and she's amazing.
And it's going to be really great for this deck.
So stay tuned. Also, in the meantime, I want chat or comments, whatever you are. I don't know, streamer mode. But anyway, pick your best girl. Who do you like more, Malice, Alice, or Lilith?
I'm a Mally kind of guy.
I like Lilith. I think, you know, the OG, she really puts up a lot of work and I really appreciate it. But Alice does a great job too. You're all doing great. Mwah.
We're playing the 1 copy of Skarm. This is just a foolish burial target. You send it to your graveyard and you can search any of your ladies. That's it.
Search your ladies. The gals.
And then the 1 copy of the Spice that we are allowed to search. It is a fiend monster whose attack and defense combined equals 2,000. This format's broken. You can search Token Collector off of your Alice. This card is absolutely incredible in this format with all of the Braver Adventurer token stuff running around, with Sword Soul being live. And this deck also generates tokens, so you can kind of control the presence of the board with just this 1 copy.
I hate this card as a Sword Soul player. Feels bad, but you know what? Screw the Brave Engine, so
Everyone's favorite card. We're playing traps, and the best trap that you can get in your deck is Scythe. This card is absolutely ridiculous, not a fair card.
Well, me and my homies hate this card. card.
I don't know why this card wasn't banned on the last list.
He's a piece of...
Yeah, this card is literally just loopable in this deck, and we'll showcase that once we get to the trap cards.
He's Garbo.
And then for the heart and soul of the deck, we are on triple copies of Lair of Darkness.
Heart
Obviously,
and soul.
This is
The Lair.
Lair.
There's no heart and soul.
Lair of
funny.
Darkness deck. This card says all face-up monsters on the field become dark, and then once per turn, if you attribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you contribute a dark monster your opponent controls. Really great synergy with itself. It literally makes everything dark, and then all of your Lair monsters tribute for cost, so they just allow you to completely just yeet your opponent's board away to activate your effects. And then mandatory, once per turn during the end phase, special summon as many torment tokens to the field equal to the number of monsters tributed to the turn player.
But this deck kind of needs the field spell, so we're going to play some cards that facilitate getting to the field spell as fast as possible because, well, you can't tribute your opponent's board if you don't have the card.
Speaking of those, we're playing the 1 copy of Terraforming. This literally just allows us to access our field spell. Weird tech here, but 1 copy of Demise of the Land.
Just one?
Unfortunately, with Alice, we had to cut back on a lot of cards. This is basically just an additional copy of Terraforming. The reason we are playing Demise as opposed to like set rotation is because this card can be live with everyone's favorite stun card. And
Yeah.
you kinda have to play this card in the deck. Definitely a slower deck, a control deck. Really functions on pacing, and this card is the absolute king at pacing.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, Mystic Mine is a tempo card. Obviously, people use it for their own toxic ways, and you can play, like, Garbage, Mystic Mine, Burn, but, like, it is a tempo card, and when used properly, like, it can actually net you a lot of advantage, especially if you're a control player.
And the best part and the synergy with this deck is that all of your monsters, yes, they can tribute your opponent's cards, but if you want, they can also tribute themselves to get themselves off the board. And then just some consistency cards. We are playing the 1 copy of Foolish Burial, and then our 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. You literally don't use your extra deck except for one thing in this deck.
Yeah.
And Foolish Burial, it can send Token Collector because it's live in the graveyard. It can send Skarm. It can send Diablos. And then we are playing some Reborn Traps. So if you just need any extenders, you can get those as well.
You can also send some of your ladies if you have Alice access and you want to special summon them out of the grave.
And then the real only purpose in this deck for the extra deck is the 1, 2, 3 copies of Super Poly.
Super duper super poly.
I mean, yeah, Lair of Darkness makes everything on the field dark. This is literally just like probably the best card to go second. And honestly, the best part is that like this deck usually isn't amazing going second, but because everyone's making Verte and DPE, you just get to use this without your field spell. So it's really broken. And speaking of really broken cards that allow you to go first, we don't really have to talk about this card,
wow,
but
we're playing Scythe. Who would have thought that we
this
were
is
playing Scythe?
searchable off of Lilith. So shout out to Lilith.
Shout out to Scythe. I love this format. Raise your hand if you just love not using your extra deck.
And then obviously more board breaking cards. We are playing triple copies of Dogmatica Punishment. This is just the pop 2. You don't need your extra deck. Free searchable pops.
You better believe there's a dance party in the extra deck coming.
And then as we said, we are playing triple copies of Back to the Front. Low-key, this is probably like one of the best trap cards
so
in
wicked.
the entire deck. Yo, shout out to Konami. Y'all the best, but can we get a foil of this?
I was just gonna say,
Like,
this would look sick as a hollow.
Can you imagine playing first edition rares as your max rarity? Like we just gotta do better.
This would
We
be
gotta
a
do
beautiful
better.
super, honestly.
This card just says target 1 monster in the graveyard, special summon it in defense position. So this card allows you to continually loop your Scythe on your opponent's turn, continually get back your Lilith to tribute off your opponent's monsters.
And basically just grab whatever you need whenever you want it. Wow, amazing. It's Lilith, it's Trap Trickable, it's all this fun stuff. You love to see it.
Speaking of Trap Trickable,
Oh,
bam.
look at me,
We're playing
segue.
double copies of Trap Trick. This is something you can reveal off of Lilith when you don't want to go through and cycle through your trap cards. And then, I mean, like, it's not really Trap Trickable, but I wish it was. We should bring Metaverse back to 2, but
Woo!
we probably should ban Mystic Mine before we do that. So Metaverse at 1, literally just another copy of your field spell. And then the best inclusion, brand new inclusion, probably one of the best cards in the game right now. Unfortunately, we are maxing out on triple copies of Skill Drain.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do at this point.
The best part about Skill Drain. Let's read Skill Drain. Have we read Skill? Let's read Skill Drain.
Yeah, no, you know what? I don't think I've ever read the card that's debilitating in the format next to Scythe.
Negate the effects of all face-up monsters while they are face-up on the field. And then it has this little thing at the end that's parentheses that says, but their effects can still be activated. Do you know what that means? That means that you can activate your Lilith, tributing your opponent's cards for cost, even though Lilith doesn't resolve. That means you can tribute your opponent's cards with Arima, with Malice, with Diablos. Even though they don't resolve, you can still activate and pay cost, tributing your opponent's cards under Skill Drain.
You can just absolutely choose violence and ruin their day. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, wait. Be like, yes, I can. That's hysterical. That's so twisted, man. That's so fun. This deck is so fun. Do you ever just want to make people cry? Me too.
And then moving off to our extra deck, we are on the 1 copy of Salamangreat Almirage and our 1 copy of Link Spider. Believe it or not, you do generate a bunch of tokens in this deck. This can also just, as I said, put Scarm in the graveyard, get you any Lady of Lament monster from your deck to your hand for follow-up. Link 2s, we are on the 1 copy of Barricade Blocker, the 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus, and our 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix. I honestly think that Blocker is the best card in this extra deck because you can discard any card and then literally just add back either Lair or Mystic Mine from your graveyard back to your hand at the end phase. Just recurs your field spells, something that this deck really needs. And then the best Lair extra deck monster, double copies here of Beat Cop from the Underworld. Beat Cop says that if this card was linked summoned using 2 dark monsters with different names, you can apply this effect. You contribute 1 monster, then target 1 face-up card on the field, place a patrol counter on that card, and then basically they have to remove the patrol counter before they get rid of the actual card. So this just protects Lair. You don't make it often, but it does come up enough to warrant playing 2 copies in our extra deck.
And then of course we're playing triple copies of whoa there, everyone's favorite dance party. Wow, sorry, I totally botched. I can't see the camera very well. I hope that's in frame. But anyway, we're playing 3 dance party. She pops, locks, drops it. You know what to do. Dogmatic punishment, baby. That's the electric boogaloo.
And then moving on to our super poly targets, obviously we are on triple copies of Starving Venom and then double copies of our Mud Dragon of the Swamp. I wish we could play more. Our extra deck is really tight. Super poly is not the main function of this deck. It is Lilith tripping into your opponent's monsters, so having super poly targets is awesome, and banishing cards in your extra deck to draw 2 is even more awesome.
Hot take, I think this should be Dragostapelia. We're just gonna Photoshop Dragostapelia right here because it's a fusion and a dark monster, so that actually works really well against Invoke decks or like any other deck, especially with like the Despia stuff coming out somewhat soon, or people playing Despia decks. I feel like the Dragostapelia is necessary.
Yeah, and if you want to cut some of your Link monsters to do that, feel free.
Alright team, we're gonna do a quick test hand and show you guys the ceiling of this deck. We like to do a random test hand at the end of every video just to give you guys an idea of how the deck plays if you really need a tutorial on it, and just show you what a realistic 5-card hand would look like. And side note, we're gonna be streaming tonight. If you want one of our new You Matter stickers that I designed, you can get one tonight on stream, or you can just, you know, message me on socials and you can get one too. But they're brand new, they're wonderful, I worked really hard on them, they're super cute. You Matter. Join the sub squad if you're not, you know, subscribed, that'd be cool. Anyway, that's it.
Alright, we're gonna do a quick few of these and then
Alrighty, I hope you draw the best.
Alright, we'll start off with bam. Terraforming.
Wow.
Okay.
Dang, bro. You're just too good.
Diablos.
Dude,
Arima. No. Oh, there we go. Lilith, fabulous, and wow,
draw 2, baby.
pretty crazy.
All right,
bam,
we literally don't care. Oh wow, oh 3. Oh look, these 3. Oh no, what did we lose in this high stakes deck? Garbage. Anyway, moving on.
We draw punishment. Wow, insane. And
bro,
once
you're
again.
insane.
So I know a lot of the comments, y'all are the greatest, but y'all are always the best at like, what if I have Ash, Imperm, Super Poly, Carbide?
Evenly matched 17 head traps in the moon.
If you open 5 hand traps, you're not playing the game either, so I don't care. So if we go Terraforming, what if I have Ash? It doesn't matter. Arima effect, Search Lair.
Cool.
Bam. Lair of Darkness, incredible.
Look at us playing through interruption.
It's like the full combo, I guess. We just, bam. Activate Lair, normal summon Lilith, activate Lilith's effect. Spoiler, you guys saw that we're playing 3, so we're just gonna reveal 3 and set 1. Bam. You know what that triggers? Diablos, because a dark monster was tributed. We're gonna special Diablos. Now you have the option where you can either set Super Poly and keep the punishment for your discard, or you can just set the punishment and have a pop 2. My personal opinion, I will always set the punishment because we're gonna have pop 2. Our opponent's already locked out of their extra deck.
So like there's really, this is redundant at this point.
They can't target this. This is a pop 2, and this is basically like a break even because you have to discard a card to clear 2 cards.
And you have to assume they're getting to something you can super poly. Also, you have Sanctum, so why? This just seems counterproductive. Also, this is kind of like a what if situation as well, because like if the terraforming resolved, you'd already have the Arima, so you would technically have another card in hand anyway, and you wouldn't have to worry about it if you really wanted to set that super poly. But I also agree, I think punishment is just the smarter thing to do because there's no extra deck happening here. I think this deck is so fun. Again, this is one of our favorite decks in the whole wide world. We can't wait for the new support coming out. I feel like this deck is getting so much support and I'm absolutely thriving with it. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you on stream tonight. We love you. You matter. Make sure you check out the links in the description box down below. And bye, team.
See y'all.
Bye. 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 Oh my god, we haven't been here in a while. It's been a while. I came out from under the dust.